Alright, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to start with jQuery, right? And we are going to see what it is and why you would use that, right? All of those things. So basically, until now, what you have learned is sufficient to, for any front-end website. There's, actually no need that you specifically need to know jQuery to do something new. What I mean is, jQuery will not give you, a lot of new features. What it will give you is something using which you can write your JavaScript code much shorter. So what actually is jQuery? It is simply a JavaScript library, right? And again, we visited the word library when we started Bootstrap, and Bootstrap was a CSS library, meaning that there was some pre-written code in Bootstrap that you could use by adding simple classes in CSS, right? So that was what Bootstrap was. And similarly, jQuery is a JavaScript library, meaning that it has a lot of written code already, and you can simply just use that code, right? However, one of the big differences is that in CSS, there are a lot of standard things that you might want to do, right? Might want to make a display of flex. However, the scope of JavaScript is actually much, much larger, and you might need to do different steps at a lot of different positions, right? And it's not always necessary that you will need a specific set of statements in one go, right? So jQuery doesn't actually do a lot of things for you. It just makes it easier for you to do it, right? Like Bootstrap does a lot of things for you, but jQuery makes it easier for you to do it. You'll still have to add an event listener by writing some syntax. You won't be able to just write one line and the event listener will be added by itself, but it will be easier to actually write it, right? And let's see what the official jQuery website, jQuery.com, has to say about this. It says jQuery is a fast, small, and feature-rich JavaScript library. We know that, right? It makes things like HTML document traversal and manipulation, event handling, animation, and Ajax much simpler with an easy-to-use API that works across a multitude of browsers, right? So this is actually a really long line involving a lot of words that you don't know, like Ajax, API, and why this would work around a multitude of browsers. So basically, the use of jQuery is like there was a debate for a long time about why jQuery was even made, because everything you can do with jQuery, you can do with JavaScript too, right? The raw JavaScript is known as vanilla JavaScript. So you can do the same things from both of them. Then why even have jQuery, right? So there were a lot of things which were like small but really considerable factors, right? One, there was the cross-browser support, meaning that some things like Flash video, which you might need to use, uh, cannot be used in a lot of browsers, right? And what the basic use of jQuery is that it can work around across any browser that you might look at, right? You can see they have all the major browsers here, and still they're writing and more, right? Except Opera, I think. Yeah, there's no Opera here, but still, it can work on any browser. That's one thing. Second, it makes your styling things faster if you're doing it, and it does a lot of things that will make your website more SEO friendly, search engine optimization, right? Plus, it makes your interaction with the HTML, the DOM, really easy, right? Like you can do a lot of things and in a much more powerful way than you would do with vanilla JavaScript, right? So that's why you would basically need jQuery, and that's what it basically is, right? It is just a feature-rich JavaScript library, right? And here's just a brief look of what it looks like. So basically, um, what this is doing is this is equivalent to writing. I'll show you. Uh, if I write the same thing in the console, I'll not press enter on that because they don't have anything set up for this in the page, I guess. But this is just to show you that if you were doing this, you would have to write document dot query selector all button dot continue dot inner HTML is equal to next step, right? Now this seems really easy, right? But what if I told you that there were a lot of buttons with the class of continue? Then we know this would not work. We would have to set the inner HTML separately for all of them by using a for loop. However, this could do that in one step, right? If this was CSS, I'm talking about CSS. So yeah, I mean, this could do that in just this one line. You would not have to use any loop. You would not have to do anything. And second, you can see that this syntax was a lot easier than writing document.query selector all button.continue.innerHTML is equal to next step, blah, blah, blah. Instead of this, what you can simply do is write this, right? So this was just a really basic example of the power of jQuery, and we are not going to spend a lot of time on this because there's actually not a lot of new concepts in this, right? The only thing that we are going to see is how to change the syntax from vanilla JavaScript to actually jQuery. And that will be enough for you to get started and get a lot ahead in jQuery even in the future, right? All right. Yeah, so that was all about jQuery, the intro to jQuery. In the next video, we can start, the selection part, because as jQuery is JavaScript, basically, then selection is basically the selection and modification procedure will hold true here too, right? So that's what we're going to see, and yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.